Has anybody ever told you that you need to have better time management skills? Or maybe have you ever tried to have better time management skills because you didn't really have the time to do something that you wanted to do in your business or in your personal life? In this video, I want to share with you why looking at time from a lens of time management is actually a bad idea, and it's probably even hurting you. And I came to this realization several years ago when I was working for an organization as an IT manager. And at the time, I was responsible for a 3-person team. It was me and 2 other people, and we had to take care of the computers and the networks and stuff at that organization. As things progressed, there was a guy on my team that actually ended up being let go for unethical behavior. And so we went from a 3-person team to a 2-person team. Now, as you can imagine, things got crazy with my time because that person that was let go, he was kind of the person that took care of all of the servers and all this higher end stuff that had to be taken care of. And there was this other woman that was on the team, but what she was doing is she was taking care of just the lower level stuff. So as it ended up, all the things that man was doing, I was ending have to pick up the slack and having to do all of those other things. Now, I had went to my boss at the time and I told him, hey, can we hire, for this position that got for that person that had gotten let go? And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. But it took me 1 whole year to find that right person on my team. So now we had that person who was dismissed and he was doing 40 hours worth of work every week, and now most of the bulk of that time I had to pick up the slack. And during that time I looked for time management techniques for how to better manage my time, but no matter what, I always went home stressed. I felt like somebody had kicked me in the head with a shoe, and I just felt terrible. And at the time, even I was just newly married, and my poor wife, she, wanted to come home. She wanted me to come home and to catch up with her and tell her about my day and ask her about how hers went, but I just couldn't even function. I was just so brain pooped, and it was really, really bad. And it wasn't really until a little bit later that I came up with something completely different that helped me look at time management, and it has completely revolutionized my life. And that is, instead of taking a look at time management, which makes you think about having this coping mentality, like time is something that happens to you and you have to cope with it, I suggest that you take a look at it from a time investment mentality, which means that you are in control. So the difference between time management and time investment is that time management makes you cope with time, but time investment makes you control your time. And when it comes to time investment, have you ever, for example, invested some money maybe in the stock market or in a bank account, a money market account or something like that? Before you did, you probably did some research about, hey, how much am I going to get as a rate of return, and where do I want to put my money and for what length of time? And all of these things were variables that you were in control with. And so you decided to make an investment in a particular commodity or in a particular investment or whatever it was. And that's the same way that I invite you to look at your time. Take a look at it. Instead of having 24 hours a day that you get, that you have 1,440 minutes every single day that you get to invest. And every single minute is kind of like a dollar bill. And wherever you choose to put it is where you're going to get the most return. And once you start thinking like that, your idea of time and your productivity is going to completely change, and you're going to see that just having that right perspective is going to be a huge game changer. So from now on, I invite you to think about, hey, how are you going to invest your time from now on? And I say, hey, you want to invest your time in such a way so that you have no regrets in life. You want to make every single minute count. And that's kind of what the No Regrets Club is all about. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.